Good morning. This is Ruth Theresa, Facebook Live on Monday, October 1st, 2018. And there are so many things that I have to tell you about. First off, hopefully we'll get some people on. It's one of those, I have mixed feelings about continuing on and doing Facebook Live continually. I love doing it, first off. As my husband says, I found the perfect job. I get paid to talk, and I love to talk about just about anything. So if you have any questions, post your questions, and I will get to them. It's one of those. I have some dates for you guys. I am going to leave. I'm going to be in Mesa, Arizona. I'm going to be in Mesa, Arizona, the 4th through the 9th, or the 3rd through the 9th of October. And I've got 3 or 4 group readings planned out there. I've got some private readings. I've got one house blessing and an office cleanse that I'm taking care of, and that sort of thing. I will also be doing a Psychic 101 class here, and it's a Tuesday, Thursday class as soon as I get back from Arizona, starting on the 11th, going until the 30th, and it's just Tuesday, Thursday. And then I've got an open house here. It'll probably be the weekend before Halloween, just so I get that out of the way before Halloween, and people don't get as busy. So, and then I've got, I will be in Austin November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. On the 3rd, I already have planned a group reading, and you'll start seeing advertising with that. You'll start seeing other things go on with that. So it's one of those. If you have any questions, post them. I'll be happy to answer them. And then on in Austin, the 2nd, the day before and the day after the 4th, I will be doing private sessions. So if anybody wants to book a private session with me during that time frame when I'm in Austin, I would love for that to happen. So we just have a huge downpour here in the Houston Sugar Land area, so it's kind of crazy. The sky is actually turning light again. Oh my gosh, it's great to see the sun. One of the things I'm going to talk about with you guys today is some things that are happening in October. One of the first things is I do a newsletter. And one of the things that everybody loves about my newsletter is I break down the energy for each day. So October 1st, October 2nd, all the way through the 31st, I do a angel card reading with my deck of cards, and I've got that, and then I pull one for each day and kind of tell you what energy is coming at you for that day, and how to correct anything if there's anything that needs to be corrected. I would say September had some really good energy. October even has some better energy coming through, and so that's some really amazing energy coming at us. October is literally a 1 month, and so it's kind of like, what do you want to step into? What do you want to change about your world? I would say one of the things that I get for most people is that they change their words, but they're not using better words. I remember when I was in school, parents and teachers used to always tell me, like, instead of using a 5-cent word, use a 25-cent word and everything else. And I was like, but sometimes that 25-cent word in the psychic world doesn't have any better energy than that 5-cent word. So it's something that you need to come up with, some things that you need to correct, and changing your thinking about things is 100% the right way to go. A lot of times people think, oh, woe is me, this is horrible that it happened to me. The thing is, though, you can go, wow, this happened to me, so now how am I going to work through this, and how am I going to be a stronger, better person on the other side, instead of going, I'm a victim, everything's bad has happened to me, everything is what is going on. So that's some stuff going on in October. There are some superpower days. You've got October 11th. You've got October 10th, which is another power day. And then I think you have the 29th. I did it last night, late at night. I was up until about 2 o'clock in the morning working on my newsletter. It's kind of a labor of love every month, and it takes about 40 hours or so, 40 to 50 hours every month to put it together. So it's not an easy event to put together, but it's also something that is really powerful for a lot of my clients, a lot of my students that have gone through Psychic 101, Psychic 202, and Psychic 303. Right now, this is really powerful for them. It's one of those. We also do have Mercury going back into retrograde later on in October, and that's kind of some turmoil energy. I always tell people, don't worry about Mercury in retrograde. A lot of people go, oh my gosh, Mercury's in retrograde. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The thing is, though, be very clear about your communications. If there's a miscommunication, I would rather pick up the phone and talk to someone face to face, or over the phone, or face to face. Text messaging sometimes doesn't always get the correct answer, or doesn't always convey what you want it to convey. I notice that a lot because I pick up my cell phone a lot, and I do the voice to text. So I go, no, I'm talking and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is this. Well, it doesn't capitalize that. It doesn't change my intonation. It doesn't change what I'm saying. It just literally is telling you the words that I'm saying, instead of going, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It says, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you, instead of like, oh my gosh, I am so excited for you. I'm so happy. It changes it. It changes the way you talk and everything else. So Mercury in retrograde is one of those things that can really hurt people. It's one of those, but it's not meant to. It is meant for you to start thinking about how you communicate in your world. How do you send your messages to other people, and how are you communicating with them? Mercury in retrograde is also a time to review what in your life doesn't work for you. What are you ready to get rid of? What are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to release? All of those things. That's the power of Mercury in retrograde. It's not meant to hurt us. It's not meant to be evil or mean or anything else. It's one of those, it's a time and an opportunity to kind of slow down a little bit and say, what would I like this to turn into? What would I like for this to be for me? What would I like to change in my words? How would I want to communicate better with my family or my business or my friends? All of those things. That's what Mercury in retrograde is all about. It's all about rethinking, reviewing, rewinding, and taking it slow and easy. Also, a lot of time it's not a time, since it's kind of the of everything, it's not a really good time to start something new. So if like a new idea comes in, write it down, think about it, but don't progress any further. Don't sign any contracts during Mercury in retrograde, because they'll fall apart or they won't be any good unless it's the end of something. Don't start something and sign the contracts in Mercury in retrograde. But if it is something that you've already been working on, I have a client that I think the second day that Mercury starts to go retrograde, signs her divorce papers. That's something that she's already been working on, so this is just the end of it, so it's fine. So she was kind of freaking out about that. So don't worry about those things. I will post my newsletter later on, and every month, 4 people get a 20-minute free reading from me. And it's one of those, if you want to sign up, it's going to my website. I'll put it on the side. It's oneinspiringwoman at gmail, or oneinspiringwoman at I can't even think, online, and it will, let's see, did that go? There it goes. Okay, so there's my website. So one of the things I would say is, what's really important is when you go to the website, go on the very first page, go all the way down to the end, and you can sign up for it. Make sure, I have several people that have signed up for my newsletter, either on purpose or unintentionally, but they didn't put their name. I need a name. I don't want to divulge your email address. So I need a name. I need a name and a first initial, at least, if not more, to get this going. It's one of those for me able to give something. I can't just go, when you don't put anything in, it just gives me numbers and letters. And so that's not enough for you to know that you won anything. But it's one of those, I do enjoy that. I will also probably be doing, probably prior to Halloween, I will probably be doing on Facebook, through my business page, One Inspiring Woman. I will be gifting a couple of free readings for people who will post and that sort of thing. So it's just one of those. It's something to keep in mind. It's one of those. October is going to be very much a power month. If there's things that you've been working on, if there are things that you have been pushing towards and following through on and that sort of thing, I will tell you October is going to be a great month. If you have been working on your junk and correcting your stuff and upgrading your things and inspiring yourself, October is going to be an amazing month. If you have been slacking off and not doing what you're supposed to be doing and doing your cleanses and everything else, it's not going to be as easy. Not that it's going to be horrible, it's just not going to be as easy. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not going to be nearly as easy to deal with this as anything else. So it's something really important to keep in mind. It's one of those. I also have a couple of other dates that will be coming up. I have been asked to go to the Rio Grande Valley again. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. I have several. I grew up down there, so I have a lot of friends and people that wanted me to go back down there and do a group reading. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I'm almost positive it's not going to happen this year. I do feel like it will happen sometime next year. It looks like April will probably be the best date that happens for me, sometime in April. So if you're in the Rio Grande Valley and you're really interested in me coming down, let me know. It's one of those, so I know how many to prepare for. My group in Austin is about 25 people all together. So it's one of those, bring your friends and family. I'm not a regular psychic like you would find, I would say, in the Rio Grande Valley or what I grew up with. It's one of those, I'm a different type of psychic. I go on your question. So when you ask me a question, I immediately know the answer and I will gift that to you. I did a group reading this weekend and we had lots and lots and lots of fun. I will tell you, one of the things that was really interesting is that one of the women there, her uncle had passed, and he was kind of one of those people that have multiple personalities. He was really fun and really exciting and always the life of the party. And several things that I said were exactly the way he would have said them. Exactly the way he would have, done his voice, his words, his mannerisms. All of those were things that were really powerful. I will be posting a couple of new ghost stories that I have. So I have some ghost stories that are coming up, and I will be posting, hopefully before I go to Mesa, Arizona, is a new video on meditation. Meditation, I would say, is the easiest thing that you can do to amplify your energy, to start allowing your own gifts and abilities to flow a little bit easier than they have been in the past. So I would just say something that's something really interesting, something that you should keep in mind. I do have several meditations on my website, but I also, there are thousands of them on YouTube and other things. I always tell my clients, find things that don't work. Literally go, okay, that meditation didn't work, or I didn't feel right, or I didn't feel comfortable in it, because the more things that you find that didn't work means that you're really looking for things that are working. We are kind of a society of nots. If I ask you how you want your hamburger, you would tell me, I don't want this, and I don't want this, and I don't want this. Well, the thing is, though, what you're really trying to tell me is what you do want on your burger. And it's easy to flip that, 180 degrees. When you say, I don't want tomatoes, what you are saying is, I want something else. And so it's the same thing in life. I have so many clients that ask me, when is my soulmate coming in? And I'm like, well, change your words and change your affirmations about your soulmate. And when they go, well, if they keep saying, he's never showing up, well, what you've asked for is that person to never show up. So change your words 180 degrees. When you say, he's not showing up, what I want you to say is, he's on his way. He'll be here anytime. It's one of those that opens that energy up and allows it to flow easier than it has been in the past. So that's something really important for us to keep in mind as we start changing our words. Also, when you're using words to describe your perfect soulmate that you would want in your life, don't use vanilla words. And that's kind of like, don't use the words like kind. Well, what does kind mean to you? What does nice mean to you? What does handsome or beautiful mean to you? What does that mean? Does that mean that they have brown eyes or blue eyes? Does it mean they have blonde hair or green? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want? And so many times God's going, I don't even know what this person wants. But it's one of those, when you start seeing it going, God, just like that. Oh my gosh, that woman is beautiful, or she's very kind, or very sweet, or anything else. Or I've seen this action in her that I could say is very sweet. So then I'm telling you, I'm showing you what I really want in this soulmate relationship. One of the things I would say too is getting very clear, especially when you're dealing with a soulmate. What do you want in your life? What kind of energy do you want them to have? What kind of energy do you want them to come at you with? It's one of those, I would say it's really, really important to have people come into your life and to bring and change different things in your world. And at the same time, you could bring in more of them only if you changed your words. If you changed your words, you would change your world. One of my affirmation statements, I love it. When you change your words, you can change your world. And it's one of those, I really love that. I really love having that ability to just with a few words change our world. So if what you're getting today is not what you want for the next month, in October, then start changing your words, because you're having the day today is because of your thinking from last week, last month, yesterday. All of those things are coming into today and making that day today different. So it's one of those, if you start changing what you're saying about your world, it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but it will change and it will get better and it will become an amazing life for yourself. So I would say one of the things that's really cool is to start changing one or two words. One or two words, in changing those, are going to make such a difference in your world. Such an amazing difference. Kind of taking the can'ts and the cannots and don't and won'ts and everything else, start removing those from your vocabulary, and it makes things a little bit easier. Flip that sentence around 180 degrees and start going, instead of going, I won't do this, say, I will do this. I will do something else. And that makes that energy so much easier. And God goes, okay, I know where your limits are. I know what you really want to have happen. So one of the things we've got about 3 minutes left or so, and we've had some people jump on and people jump off. So it's one of those, if you have any questions, please post them. I'm still doing the debate whether I want to do Facebook Live going into October. If I do it in October, I would do it till the end of the year, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, or if I feel up to it. I may change days or times and see if that is a little bit easier for me. It's kind of weird to have it Monday morning at 10, because Monday morning for me is a paperwork day, and I've got tons of paperwork to get taken care of before I leave for Arizona in a few days. So if there's any questions I can answer for you, let me know. If I do continue Facebook Live going in October, I will be live in Mesa, Arizona. So it'll be like 8 o'clock in the morning there. So that'll be kind of interesting. That'd be a very early morning for me. I normally don't climb out of bed until 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm so excited to be going to Mesa, Arizona, and then to Austin and having some different events. I will be doing an open house here, like I said, in Sugar Land, the very end of October, probably the weekend before Halloween. And what I will probably do at the end of that open house is go into a group reading. So that'll be kind of a fun, different kind of thing that I haven't done before. I've done open houses before and I've really enjoyed it. In my open houses, I have my angel cards out, all of them, so people can learn how to do a reading for themselves. That's kind of a fun and interesting thing. I show them different salts or how to do fragrances in the salts, and some of the things that I learned, some of the stuff that I do when I do an open house or a house cleansing. So I show people how some of the things that I use, some of the sages that I use, some of the different things that I use that they or may not be used to. I also have my wands around, things for them to touch and hold and play with a little bit, so it makes it a little bit easier. And my house is all decorated. Fall is one of my favorite times of year, so right now it's kind of interesting that I'm going to Mesa, Arizona, and I don't get to finish decorating the house. It's coming. I promise you it's coming. fall is going to fall all over. I love autumn. I love the leaves changing. Even though that really doesn't happen that much in Houston, Texas, I can still print pictures and put all kind of fake leaves everywhere. So that's kind of my thing. So if you have anything else for me, if you have any other questions, please let me know. And I know a lot of y'all listen to this later on because y'all are at work. So if y'all have a better time or a better day that this would work for you guys, let me know and we can see if that will make that happen. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope you have an amazing day. And I really, really hope you have an amazing October 2018. I bless you and I thank you for joining me. Hopefully you'll have a great week. Talk to you soon.